democracy become glorious in spiritual degrees, and render this just government victorious.
So the thing is, for him at that last moment when he went up to his shtick, call it the shtick with a capital S, by the way, too, so you don't get smarmy with me. They all denied him. Even his best disciple, Peter, denied him, and he knew it. He knew it. He figured it out. He didn't have any magic powers or mumbo jumbo. You might want to read The Passover Plot, written by a Jew, but a most brilliant book for any so-called Christian who'd like to figure out and resolve for themselves the crazy dichotomy of like all the voodoo that you guys currently operate with, the superstition. It's like 10 times worse than any of the primitive people from back in the day. I mean, talk about superstition. Welcome to American Christianity as we practice it in this country. But he knew. There would have been no point in being Jesus the Christ if when he went up there he knew he wasn't going to feel any pain or he knew the outcome. No, he knew. And he did it in faith. And he did it for you. Whether or not he, has any regrets about that, that remains to be seen. I don't get to know about stuff like that. Anyway, so the point is that this is the Trinity. Okay, so you guys were always wondering about the Trinity. Here we go. Welcome to Occupy God. This is the Trinity, and the three are one. And it just hit me yesterday as I was like looking at it again. I go like, oh no. But then this red and blue thing, that's just funny. That's good video. That's just good video. Anyway, earlier in this thing, in the opening montage, I think I put a quote from Nietzsche. Okay? Just, my little Nietzsche, my little Friedrich Nietzsche, How to Philosophize with a Hammer, Twilight of the Gods, what's the other? The Antichrist. What a delicious piece of text. And we'll cover more of Nietzsche later. I just wanted to not leave him out because it's beyond good and evil. You see, it's beyond good and evil. It's not a matter of being evil. It's a matter of, in our search for the truth, for our own selves, to be locked into someone else's idea of what is right and wrong is generally not good. But there are some basic operating principles without which I don't think we can successfully become ourselves. Like, for instance, it's not nice to hurt people. Don't hurt people, man in uniform, or anyone else. Also, occupy whoever guy or person or gal. There's a million ways we hurt. We've been trained from the time we were born to hurt people with our words, with our ideas, with our expectations, with all our judgments. Howsoever ye judge, so shall ye be judged. As ye mete it out, so shall it be meted unto you. Even to say something is good, oh, that was good, is a form of judgment, because implicit in your judgment of good is the idea that somehow you know what is bad. And I promise you, you got no idea what is bad. What is good is really simple, and it's in all three of these. Not so much in this, because it's a different thing, but it's really fun, I tell you what. But in these, it'll tell you good is just being cool to the kids. I'll tell you this, you can use this as a basic guiding principle. If you, in what you do, somehow have to take away the smile from a kid's face, you can be pretty sure what you're doing is not good. That includes education. It needs a little revamping, you educators. You may need to re-educate yourselves. Okay, final thing. I'm getting a little bit tired, a little bit sleepy. I want to go play some kind of video game on the computer and wait for like bill collectors to call. I turned off the ringer just to be decent. Okay. So this is kind of a little bit tricky because I'll just put the link and let you run with it. Okay, Wilhelm Reich. Okay, some of you, Wilhelm Reich. It's called The Mass Psychology of Fascism. Okay, and he was a devotee of Freud, German writer. He lived in the pre-Nazi times. This particular book, Mass Psychology of Fascism, very difficult to read because the dude is so high on himself. His fundamental premise is called sex economy. It's not about having sex for money That's what it sounds like from Sex Economy. It's rather a matter of understanding the universal experience that people have from the time they're born in these modern times, of the repression and distortion of what are fundamentally natural impulses and growth stages. Little child is not a sexual being, but they have genitals. And so they will often, male or female, explore that as they explore all the world around them. But then the parent who's been indoctrinated very quickly puts on it some kind of like, no, don't do it, don't touch this, and don't, and the kid all of a sudden freaks, and all of a sudden the distortions all start to come into place, and they build on each other. When adolescence comes, we know biologically and scientifically there's a great surging neurologically, our hormones, etc., where blossoming happens, and we become basically fertile. We become able to procreate with all that power of eons, evolutions, millions of years of life energy seeking to express itself. Oh yeah, you should read Joseph Chilton Pierce. He wrote The Crack in the Cosmic Egg and The Magical Child and all that stuff. Brilliant. I hope you're still alive, Joseph. Man, I've always wanted to meet you. Anyway, but the idea is that during adolescence this all happens. But the adults, and Piaget in particular, who identified consistent cycles in the growth of the human organism from childhood on, child psychologist, has figured out, oh, these are universal, so let's figure out how we can suppress them and put them in a box and make kids, and tell them don't feel these urges. So we fill them with fire and fear and brimstone, and they become profoundly neurotic. Then comes me, like the neurotic dude with conflicted this and that, and all manner of distortions of what should really have taken place earlier on. And so we act them out till you get to like Palm Beach, and you get, people in senior homes on going dating, wanting to, do the nasty with somebody. It's like, dude, it's like Logan's Run movie. Once you're over 30, you're pretty much done. And so that's my orientation to this whole kind of thing. It's like, it's not about me and what I can get out of it. It's for the kids. It's for the kids, and I hope for you in the Occupy thing. And for the kid, that's the older person who now is 60 or 70, or Lanier with the Electronic Frontier Foundation and all that sort of stuff. Anonymous or whoever else is making an effort to open up the space, because you know what this world is? Everyone on this planet right now deserves to be here and be loved. And we're part of a process that is so profound that it has never existed before. And what we're experiencing, the tightness and the confusion, is exactly the tightness and confusion of a rose before it bursts open. That's all it is. For eons, the rose has been growing and growing, and it's been green and all that sort of stuff. And so it's gone through cycles and spirals of growth. And now we get to this age, and it's like all the communications are in place, all the transportation is in place, science has developed, our understanding of language has developed, we can communicate with each other. And it's compressed though, because you and me are in our little super prismatic isolated cells, and things seem to be at odds, but it's like a cell before it divides. It separates in mitotic cell division, and then it looks like turmoil, and then all of a sudden, bam, it bursts open, and there's a new growth stage. And in this case, mankind is the rose, and we are here in this green moment. But if you've ever looked at a rose, and you can look at it on YouTube, which is just like the movie Soylent Green, unfortunately, when there was no nature left and Edward G. Robinson is looking at like virtual things. How prescient is that stuff? Anyway, but just before the rose bursts open, it's been everything it's been, and at that moment something horrible and violent is happening, and all the little petals and things inside that have never seen the light of day are just compressed, and there's a lot of petals and a lot of little things that go into a rose, and then all of a sudden, overnight, boom, it bursts open. That's precisely where we are. That's the time of the end. That's the Spirit of God being poured out on all flesh, whether it's the dude Howard Camping or whoever with the end fears, or whether it's the Mayan calendar stuff, or whether it's fears of, well, the asteroid stuff we'll have to talk about later, because that is not going to happen. Everyone wants it to be over by an asteroid, so they don't care, but we're not going anywhere. We're not going to colonize another planet. We're not getting out of this. This is the garden. Welcome to the garden. You are here now, and it's okay, and you're okay, and everything is cool, and don't be afraid. And if you want to get a little more comfort and have an idea of what's going on. You won't be able to market it. You're not going to be able to own it, copyright it, or possess it. But if you want to get a chance to witness to what's going on, I suggest you watch episodes 1 and 2. Total elapsed time out of your life, 30 minutes. And then maybe you do it, maybe you don't do it. But whether or not you do or you don't do, that's okay. Hopefully this is sufficient. Hopefully you understand that even though I can't see you, I know you. And even though you haven't met me, you know me. And that should be sufficient. Welcome to God 2.0. Sling Blade. Sling Blade. Gotta figure out better endings for this stuff. Bye. Help me.